Hello everyone, welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new knife I picked up from Wright and Sons, and this was from the Bakewell Cook Shop up in Bakewell, weirdly. We went up there with Mikey and Sean a few weeks back, had a fantastic time in Sheffield, lots of bits and pieces around there. Saw Wright and Sons themselves for the second time, as good as the first time, and then we went up to Bakewell on the Saturday morning, had breakfast, went to the Bakewell Cook Shop. We all picked up a couple of knives, but this is one I bought offline. I wanted to try what it's like buying on their site, and I ordered it Friday and it arrived first thing this morning, and seeing as it's the weekend, I think that's absolutely fantastic. But the Bakewell Cook Shop, they actually give these knives to you in this wonderful little black box. Now, normally from Wright, they're just wrapped in like a little plastic bag with a label on it. Very basic, but it keeps the costs down and making the knives more affordable for yourself. And then at the Bakewell, they didn't charge extra for this. They put it in this nice little presentation style box. Nothing fancy, just a little black cardboard box. But on the back, you get the name and the model number. And we're looking at the Wright and Sons Olivewood handled Spearpoint pocket knife. And that is 40, so 40 is the pattern number, and then OW for Olivewood. But let's put that to one side and take a look at the knife. Look at the Olivewood on that. Isn't that absolutely fantastic? I haven't done anything to this yet. I haven't oiled it, nothing like that. I'm going to do that after the video. I want to give it its sort of a natural appearance straight out of the box. Fit and finish is fantastic. No gapping whatsoever. This wonderful olive wood. Just look at that. Blade right down the center. Perfectly done. And I love this coloration on the back with like the caramel colors on there. I think that looks fantastic. Transitions and hafting, cannot feel a thing. You can't even feel the pins. All you can feel is the smoothness of the wood going into the nickel silver bolsters, which you can see are pinched front and back. And the same here, cannot feel a thing. Nothing sharp. Even the back of that tang's rounded over slightly, which is enough for it not to be sort of sharp or feel sharp when you catch it. Obviously, it's not going to cut you, but it's not going to cause any sort of damage to your skin, which is nice. Bolsters are really well lined up, and I've actually seen how Ashley does these, and he makes like a little template to get these lined up, which I think is superb. It's definitely the way to go for these. Let's take a look at some specs of this knife. So let's pop it down and grab the rule. So, close length, we are looking at pretty much 3 3/4 inches, so a pretty much goated size knife for me, really. So that's like my grail size, or the perfect size of knife for me is 3 3/4. It fills the hand nicely, and I feel like I've got total control of the knife, especially when it's that size. Anything above 4 inches is getting a bit unwieldy for me, like I've not got the largest hands, but anything below 3.5 getting towards 3 can be more of a 3-finger knife. But 3 3/4, perfect. Let's take a look at the blade. Listen to that snap. A little bit lighter than some of my other ones, but still a nice, at least a 7 pull on this. You can see we've got the Wright and Son Sheffield tang. Nice little fine edge on there all the way around. A little bit heavy towards the tip, maybe in towards the ricasso, but honestly, they don't have the time. There's only 2 of them. They can't get everything 100% perfect, but I'm more than happy to put my own edge on a knife once it gets to me anyway. I tend to like quite a high angle, like 20 to 25 rather than a low angle. Just find it holds an edge better, and I can sort of maintain that just with a strop. But you can see the edge there. It's really nice. Pretty clean on the inside. We'll need a bit of an oil, maybe a little bit of a wipe out, nothing major. No half stop, but listen to the snap on the open. Just one of the best things about Wright is they really know how to do the action or the walk and talk on the knife. But this is a spear blade, nothing fancy, just a C70 carbon steel blade, very basic steel, but one that's been used for a long time in Sheffield. Let's take a look at the blade length. So tip to tang, we are at just over 2 3/4 with a 2.5 inch cutting length, which is going to make this knife perfectly UK legal without any issues whatsoever. And that's exactly what I'd expect from a UK knife maker, is to keep making UK legal knives. Now, Would I like to get some lock-in knives from Arthur Wright and Sons from Sheffield makers? Yeah, 100%. But the laws are getting so strict now, we wouldn't really be able to carry or use them. So that's why slip joints are my passion. Even if we could carry a locker, to be honest, I would be all over slip joints. I just really love the history of them. Proper working man's knife, this as well, with the wooden covers on there. And I've really grown to love Olivewood. I don't know what it is. I think it might be the sort of the difference you can get, this lighter sort of tan colour with the swirls, and this side's a little bit darker with a nice streak through it there as well. But I'm a big fan of the Spearpoint from Arthur Wright and Sons. I've picked up a couple over the last sort of year or so, so that's my newest one. This one was actually a birthday knife from Mikey Newman. This is in the oak, or the whiskey barrel oak. This one has seen quite a lot of use. I've sharpened it, cleaned it off, patinaed it up, and it's gone round and round in that sort of cycle. But I love using this one. It's one of my favourite working knives. Again, exactly the same. Another one that I picked up from the famous Sheffield shop through Mikey, who picked it up for me and sent it over. This is the ebony Spearpoint, one of my favourite woods, to be honest, for any sort of traditional knife, especially when you've got the contrast with the nickel silver and the brass. I think that dark wood really sets it off and, you know, really makes it seem that much more of a classy knife. So that is the ebony. And then I actually have a Spearpoint from Ashley himself, so one of the custom makers at Arthur Wright and Sons. And this is a Spearpoint Barlow because it does have the elongated bolster. But this is in Koa wood, and it's a full custom. You can see you've got the work back springs, coined liners, the Barlow bolster, and this is in 01 tool steel, and you can see this one gets a lot of use. And there's Ashley's maker's mark there on the tang. But realistically, it's just a Spearpoint as the rest of these are. Now, do I love it any more than the rest? Not really. Do I love it as a using knife anymore? No, it's as good as any of these. Ashley makes these as well as the customs. The customs just have his flair. So you get the 01 tool steel, you get the fancy wood, the worked back springs, things like that. But these are all as good as each other. But there we go. That is my review or sort of overview of the Olivewood Spearpoint from Arthur Wright and Sons. That was picked up from the Bakewell Cook Shop. I will put the link in the description below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.